going to show you today how we put one of the decals onto the mirrors. I recommend, if you can, have a China white marker just to mark out sections on your mirror. You don't have to do that. In fact, it is really as simple as popping it down, and if you are happy with the placement by eye, then you can do that. But I do like to make sure it's in the middle and straight. But the grid lines on the transfer tape will help you with that as well. So what I've done is I've marked out my centre line with a China white pencil. You could use a piece of sticky tape as well if you wanted, as long as you weren't sticking it under where the sign will go. And what I'm going to do is find the two ends, pop that together, and then find where the centre point is on the decal, just so that I have that there. And then I'm just going to stick it down with the end section, just to make sure of the placement. It's great if you have a set square that you can use, because you can line that up and see how that is against your grid lines. And actually I've managed to do that pretty straight, so that's great. But you can also check your measurements here and here if you wish. I'm just doing it by eye for the video. What you can also do, because when the backing paper is off, that is it, I'm afraid. You've only got one shot at it. If you are a bit worried about the fact that it is only one shot, what you can do is mix a little bit of washing up liquid with some water and then spray that onto the surface. And then what that will do is just lessen the tack in the transfer tape, so that you can move it around a little bit after you've actually popped it down. So if you are a bit scared about doing it, then you can do that, but I'm not going to bother doing that today. So once you're happy with the placement and you've got that stuck down there and you're happy that it's in line, what you're going to do is, keeping that stuck down, is peel this back. Now the backing paper will then simply lift away. Okay, so what you need to do now is, with your left hand, start going up and down quite gently. When you've got a bit to the side, you can flip it back and then do this with your hand or with a credit card, just smoothing it gently. The backing paper peels away automatically. Slowly moving to the other side. If it doesn't quite, just give it a hand there. That crackling isn't anything to be worried about, it's just the air bubbles coming out of the vinyl. So now with your finger, just trace over the vinyl itself. And now you're going to leave this for as long as you can, preferably overnight. It needs a good couple of hours, sort of 24 or even 48 hours, and what that will do is it will allow the glue in the vinyl underneath to cure. You could start peeling off straight away and you may find that it works. In fact, you can see that. However, it is a really good idea to leave it to actually cure, because then you're at less risk of ripping the vinyl when it comes off, because this is still sticky, and so you can find that some of the letters still do stay stuck to the transfer tape, so you don't want to risk that ripping. So leave it for as long as you can bear it. I'm going to leave mine overnight and we'll come back to this tomorrow to finish off. Okay, so just about 24 hours has passed, so I'm just going to peel it off. It does work better if you peel sort of from the corners, but you can try different ways. Just make sure, right now here, this bit of letter is actually lifting back. So what you just need to do is use your finger to just make sure that that's attached. So just go slowly while you're watching. And try and change the direction that you're pulling the transfer tape off, and that can help. And then you may want to just rub over with your finger just to make sure that you get rid of any air bubbles, or you can go over it with the credit card again. So that is all on. So the vinyl is advertised as waterproof. I wouldn't put any chemicals on it, but you can certainly, there's nothing to stop you, because I've got my finger marks on this, and I've also got the mark where I've drawn the centre line. So do feel free to go over it with a microfiber cloth. And I would still use a window cleaner around the sides, just maybe try not to get it on the actual vinyl itself. But yeah, that's ready to go. Glass and mirror is a non-porous surface, so when you're done with your sign, it will just come straight off. You can just pick at it with your fingernail, or you can use a scraper, which will help. A scraper is a lot quicker, but by using a scraper it leaves quite a lot of residue, but that simply comes off with window cleaner. If you can peel it off, then you should have little to no residue left at all. So there we go. There is our welcome sign. Done.